I think we're in a political, economic, and moral crisis in the country. Colin and I met a number of rating agencies in the last 16 months, and investors, and every one of them told us at that time that we okay with the fiscal plan under the circumstances. We recognize the progress that is being made in, although it's pedestrian, but some economic growth. They kept on talking about inclusive growth and the sustainability of the growth. But the issues that they had problems with, and they consistently pointed to those as what they're going to be watching on, is political stability and certainty and the strength of our institutions. And those are the two areas where we put on a plate and we gave it to them and say, now take your decision. And we have to ask, it was the night of the long knives and one night of madness, but the one night of madness was a culmination of a trend that was quite clear, that there are forces at play in our country that don't have national interest topmost of agenda. And we have to ask questions about what happened and why it happened and how it happened. So I think that the moral crisis has led to the political crisis and has now led to an economic crisis. And I think the three have now come together. So it's put us in my view, a significantly serious and dangerous position. Now we can talk all night about what we need to do and so on, but one of the problems of what's happened in the last few weeks is that if we had a trust deficit before, believe you me now, it's just gone. It's just gone. And the current state of affairs put us in the unfortunate position where even where progress is made and some good comes out of that, we start asking questions about the intentions and the motivations. And that's what's happened to trust, and that's what's happened to the social compact we had. It's what Mr. Janas said a number of times, the social compact we had is gone. And this has taken us phenomenally back. So that's where we are. I think the other tragedy of all of this is that, and you know, people are ambivalent about the CEO initiative. Some people tell me that, yeah, why were you guys bailing government out? Why were you guys making all the sacrifices and putting money there and putting money there when the structural changes that needed to happen in the economy weren't happening? Well, I think that the CEO Forum took the view that despite the trend that led to the night of the long knives, that we needed as business to do everything we could to actually continue showing confidence in the country and trying to stop the inevitable which happened. And I think through that process, what happened, and Colin can comment on this as well later, but my view is that we were actually getting to a point where business, and this is, you know, what some would call white monopoly capital, but it's more than that, where business was actually beginning to understand the need and the imperative for a structural change in our economy, to make it more inclusive, to create jobs, to do a whole range of things. And all of that has gone. And to rebuild all of that is going to be a Herculean task. And I don't think the new cabinet, if you like, has started off very well on that task. So we met the minister as Basa, Minister of Finance, said the right things, but there's no consistency in the messaging. So, you know, you say you're not going to change policy, you're going to keep the policy trajectory, but then you have as your advisor somebody who is diametrically opposed from a policy point of view. So what's he going to advise you on? So it just sends mixed messages at a time we need very clear, very consistent messaging that say that we are going to stay the path, We've been downgraded to sub-investment grade, but we are going to stay the path, and we are going to try and pull ourselves out of it. Instead, we send the sort of message that says, well, so we've been downgraded, so what? And despite his house in Mauritius. So I think that we in this political, economic, and moral crisis, I think the three coming together is to a certain extent a perfect storm, and I think it's going to take a hell of a lot of work to get on.